Alright, so OFA, welcome to this interview. We've got two Korean players here, main team players Jakazi and OurConsuls. Both players are expected to win some awards this season, maybe not the World Cup, but they are definitely contenders. I will start off this interview with asking OurConsuls a question. Alright, OurConsuls, you've always seemed to blame your teams for not being good enough and not winning trophies like Manchester United, and all those teams, Morocco Season 2 World Cup. Are you going to say whether or not that Korea's a team that's able to win this trophy, or will you be blaming them in the future for not being good enough?
I mean, I think I only blamed one team before, and that was Season 2 England. Zia did pretty bad in defense that game. We had Aaron Tyler in net for the semis, and we did sort of get carried by Giabao, who was like the best GK at the time. But I think I got the best GK in the game right now, and that's Jacob. But I reckon this two Korean team's pretty good, and I don't think I'll blame them. I think we'll just do our best.
All right, now another question. Do you think Korea's better than your Season 3 England team?
Yeah. Once again, I think this team's better. Like the defense in the Season 3 England team wasn't that good. We had some bunch of punks that didn't play the game anymore, and they kind of got kicked by Destino semis. I reckon we got a better defense, better all-rounded team, and I reckon Jacob will do pretty good in defense. I reckon.
Yeah. Well, I'm Jacob. You've had a wonderful start to this World Cup, Season 3 Euros. You joined a Sweden team that was, all right. Going to go deep in the tournament. Didn't turn out that well. But you guys, you did miss out on the Season 3 club season. Returning to the Season 4 World Cup, do you think you're still the best keeper in the league?
I mean, I heard about this Rez guy, and I got told he's pretty good. And I haven't seen him play, but from when I've seen him play for Portugal, I don't think he's that good as me. And he was apparently the best, so it has to be me. Like, I got the most clean sheets so far. In both games I've played, I've kept 2 clean sheets, and like multiple times where I've just saved the team so far. Bloody Korean defenders.
Now, Jacob, I'm going to ask you another question about this upcoming game against Japan. Do you think your team has enough depth and strength to, beat the super team? Well, kind of a super team.
I mean, I'll say it now. I don't think I'm going to concede. They have Luka as a striker, bro. He's not going to score a goal against me. I'll be honest. I think we have it. We have very good players all over the pitch. We have Consoles, Nishu, Saliente. I really rate Saliente, our striker. He's been very, very good this tournament. So yeah, I think we could beat them. That doesn't mean we're going to destroy them. I think it's going to be a close game, but I still think we're going to win.
Yeah, and with the defense, I've been told through players in your team going into this World Cup that you're not too content with the centre backs. What's your thoughts on your centre back partners? Are they going to let you down this tournament? Do you reckon?
Well, we got certifiedciaga.
With certifiedciaga coming over recently, the first 2 games. The first game was alright. We had our defense was a bit shaky, but ever since him and Nisha have come in, it's been a bit more solidified. And I feel like I'm more confident in my defenders. For example, Aaron Tyler played the first game, and that was that had a howler, bro. So I think I'm confident now in my team.
Yeah, definitely. Well, OurConsuls, I'm going to go back to you now. So, so basically I'm going to quote Luka here. Luka said in his group stage game against Iceland, he'll be seeing you guys in the quarters after some shit talk. What do you think of that Japan team, and do you think it'll be a close game or not?
The only way I see that game being a close game is if Rez and Asenko steps up and does a carry job performance. That Japan team is mid as fuck, and after losing Diego, and after Luka's Italy performance, you can leave that guy wide open, and he'll still find a way to miss the shot. Honestly, realistically, the only people in that team I'm worried about is Asenko Lee and Aloha Maki. Korean host switch over to that. It's over.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask you a lead-up question. You've played with LHS Asenko throughout your career, on AS Roma and other leagues. What's your opinion on him, and how are you going to, aim to stop him since he has been on good form this season?
I reckon you just don't cross the ball that much. Just don't cross towards him, I guess. Be more direct down the middle and take more attacks down there, and just try to avoid him. Just
Well, I'll be asking Our consoles, one more question before we go to the final question to both of you. Our consoles are going to see the likes of Aaron Tyler, F_B2, and Dogashed on the field against Japan. You know, these rising stars. They're known in other leagues, but not really OFA, trying to make a name for themselves.
Like maybe we'll see how we're doing in friendlies and probably base the lineup off of that. Like if VT and Chan have been doing good in defense, like I can
Have
imagine
they,
we'll
though?
give them some game. I can imagine we'll give them some game throughout the group stage, throughout the knockouts. Maybe not this game, but like once again we got certified Ciaga and CB, so like anything can happen. Like even Doggy Show can make the defense.
All right, Jacob and consoles, before we end this interview off, this question's for the both of you. All right. So, where do you think Korea will finish this World Cup, and who are you most worried about in this tournament? One player each.
Who do you want to go first?
You can go first.
All right. One team I'm worried about would be Italy. I feel like they've got a lot of experience in these types of knockout tournaments. Like they've got Gununa, Ahmed. They have very good players that have been in these situations before. So I think that'd be the team that we have to worry about the most, since our team isn't as experienced, and that could lead to shaking in our team. Besides stuff like that, I think we'll make a run to the finals. I'm confident that we can do it. It just depends how we go on that final game to see if we can do it. But I don't think this game will be our toughest. I think the semi-final against Morocco will probably be our hardest game if we get there, obviously.
For the player?
For a player, like, I'm not really scared of one player, in my opinion. There's a lot of good players. I think it's more of like a team game. If I had to say one, it'd probably be like, I think Doomy. He's really, really good, and he plays for Morocco, and he's really good at mossing. So it just depends how he plays on the day, but he could be a really good player that could cause some issues.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think the team I'm most worried for is probably Italy. I think those are the only real threat in this competition. And like for the player I'm most scared of, maybe like a Senko Lee. Like once again, he's like a good CB, like the later side. But yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you guys actually a question. I lied before. What do you guys think of this Timnas team? You know, the reigning World Cup champions in this tournament. You know, they've had a lot to say, and they've got a lot of fans, you know, a lot of atmosphere in their games. So do you think there'll be a problem in this tournament?
Okay, so like we're meant to be like a pot 2 team. Like then you got 10S and pot 1. Like come on, bro, have you seen their team? They got like 4 B classes and that's it. Like I reckon Australia they'll struggle against Australia. They'll lose to them. Australia shouldn't be pot 3. Like these pots are pretty ass, but I reckon yeah, some pot 3 teams better than this Indonesia team, and like yeah. I feel like
And what about
we
you,
got put at
JKZ?
pot
What do you
2.
think?
No, wait, hold on. I feel like we got put at pot 2 since the players we have are all rising stars and haven't really proven themselves yet in the big game. But yeah.
All right, what do you think, JKZ, of Timnas, the reigning champions?
Like Consul said, I think they were really put into a favorable pot. I feel like looking at their team now is like that is definitely a pot 2 or 3 team, and even their group, was pretty easy. They had what teams did they end up even have in that group? They had like US teams like that. It's just the group wasn't as good as the other groups. Like one group had Morocco, Netherlands, Australia, and like teams like that. And then, for example, our group had Norway, Switzerland, and Uruguay. Those 2 teams were good. In terms of how I think they'll go against Australia, it depends how they. It just depends on the Indo host really, because they're really good on Indonesian host. Obviously, they're going to be. It's their host. But if they don't play good on that Indonesian host, and I think like you got players like Valverde or whatever, Odezu, whatever his name is now.
Yeah.
Eldenaf, that's another one. I think if Eldenaf has a good game, I think Australia should get past them and win the game. But it just depends on how they play. Should be fun.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for today. You know, the video's getting a bit long now. We have to make it short for the, you know, short attention spans. So thank you two for coming on. Thank you, Certified Ciaga, for recording this. We'll be seeing you again in a later date for another interview. Thank you. That's all.